Yes, I remember I shared one of the stories. Some guy, okay, it happened to my cousin first. Alikuja hapa hivi Seattle airport akarudishwa because of certificates. So one of my friends in New York akanipigia simu akaniambia, hey, my brother is coming, nini, and I was just so happy. But I remember I told the guy, please tell your brother asibebe certificates. Akaniambia sawa. So I think he told the brother, but the brother, unajua wale wanajua sana, you know, wale wenye they know even if you tell them don't do this, they will still do it. So the guy still brought I think we foresaw him being deported. I don't know, because I remember vividly I told the brother that please don't carry, mwambie asibebe certificates, because cousin yangu alikuwa anakuja kuzika. I remember alikuwa anakuja kuzika mtoto wa ndugu yake.
Okay.
So alirudishwa. Yeah, he was sent back. Actually, that's why I shared that story some time back. That was like 3 months ago.
No, there's this question people ask about when you get the DV lottery, you win. How do you get a host? Because like me, where I come from, there are very few people who are in US. So like Jackson wins and is not able to get a host.
So this is what usually happens. If you do not, okay, when you win a green card lottery, honestly, there are very many people who are willing to host people. Wako wengi. So you can just go. Kama hauna rafiki, kama hauna relative. This is very rare, but if this happens to you, like you don't have a friend, you don't have a relative, then go to the social media. Just come to TikTok, you know, post a video, say, hey, I'm looking for a host. Go to Facebook, right? We have so many social media. We have statuses. We have WhatsApp and all that. Just write you're looking for a host. Trust me, hakuna venye utakosa host. You will definitely get. But if hizo types zote umejaribu na umeshindwa kabisa, then you have two options. You have either getting a hotel or getting a Airbnb, you know. So what they usually need uko kwa US Embassy ni address. They just want clarity that this is where you're going.
Yeah. So you can book an Airbnb.
Yeah. You can book an Airbnb. It's gonna cost you some money. But still, let me tell you, you know, I usually try to tell people that you just need to play smart. Wanasemanga at least 2 weeks. So 2 weeks.
Sorry, 2 weeks?
Kama unatafuta restaurant, ama unatafuta hoteli, ama Airbnb, they need you to tell them at least utakuwa pale for at least 2 weeks.
Again, before I forget, Damari, I know there's this thing of you know, this internet doesn't forget, and that's why I usually say do not engage in activities which might look like unaongea maneno mbaya about that US government. Na ukuja ushinde green card. Do you know when you win this thing, they ask for your social media accounts, wanakuitisha account ya YouTube, ya Facebook, ya Twitter. They want to see whether in the year 2013 you wrote something which is damaging to the to the US government, something of that sort.
Okay,
so
that is very true. I you know people don't usually know that. Okay, let me tell you something. Yeah, when I went. You know, I was denied my visa the first time. So I went to the interview and they asked me a question. They asked me what I do for a living. I told them I'm a student, and they asked me, "Are you not working?" I said, "No, I'm not working." They said, "Are you sure you're not working?" I told them, "Yes, I'm not working." But I forgot to delete one picture. I was working with one of the companies in Mombasa, Nyamwange and Company Advocates. I was a lawyer there. And I forgot. I took a picture. We went to a party. I took a picture and I stayed with my lawyers. I work with this, blah, 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 with this company. If you're interested to work with us, we deal with land, blah, 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 and all that. So I had expressed myself on that same day. So I forgot. So the person who asked me, aliniuliza twice, are you sure you're not working there? You're not working? I said, no, I'm not working. And then the other question they asked me, how long are you going to stay in the US? So I said, nikablanda tu matare, like nikasema, I'm going for 3 months, yet I was supposed to go for 2 months and 3 weeks. So I said 3 months. So sinikanyimwa visa.
First time.
Kunyimwa visa. So by the time I remember that I still have these posts that I'm working, and I remember that guy asked me 3 times, are you sure you're not working? He said, no. Are you sure you're not working? I said, no. Are you sure? 100% sure you're not working? I said, no. Yet I was working. So I didn't know where they got that information from. Until after 3 months, ndio nikafikiria nikakumbuka, guys, siku deletingi. He posted.
Damaris, even if you delete,
yeah.
These guys are able to retrieve. We're gonna software to retrieve that kind of information from your social media account.
Yes. So whatever people are doing out here is like they think it's not gonna haunt them. It's going to haunt them, like really bad. I'll give you another example. There's a girl who filed for asylum, like here in the US. Ali filed for asylum, and then Ali filed for asylum akasema she's gay, and then she was this person who was doing videos against gayism. You know, like alikuwa anaenda live anatukana watu gay and all that. So she forgot about all those videos. Like she's been doing, but see TikTok, alikuwa Facebook, alikuwa na talk against gay people, you know, and all that. So she didn't know that these people are doing research. So ameenda court, anaulizwa, you're gay? Yeah, she's gay. That's what she was telling like people, yeah, she's gay. So akaulizwa, you're gay? And then akaulizwa, do you remember this day? Akatolewa video zake za Facebook. So if you're gay, why are you talking against gay people? Hivyo ndio alirudishwa nyumbani, by the way, sasa yako home. So people think that social media is somewhere you can hide. As much as you're saying that you are not using your name on TikTok, you know, unatumia user, you know, user. So utapatikana. But user, you're using the number, you're also using an email. It's either you're using your number or your email address. So of course they will know it's still you.
They'll be able to trace you. Damaris, sorry, someone has sent you a gift, huh? And
okay. Thank you for the gifts.
Yeah. I know that Madam CEO must be not knowing you from the other side.
Yeah, she's actually my friend. She's in Minnesota. She's my friend. I'm so grateful that she's here because she's educating people on our behalf, because we are not seeing all the questions. There are just so many.
Yeah, there are so many. She's in the comments answering questions. Thank you, Madam Boss. Anyway, Damaris, tumefikisha wapi? Tunadigress sana.
Lakini I think we were answering something, yeah.
Basically watu tunasukuma watu apply kitu when it starts. Tentatively date ni hizo tumesema ni next month, hatujui date vizuri because haijatangazwa, but requirements watasema, then we'll be able to post. Otherwise when you see these videos tukifanya kidogo, some of them tunaongeza maneno ndio to gain traction. And the is let me say this, I know you make videos about different pathways za kwenda US. I don't know whether there is another one you want to talk about, because it's like we've exhausted about the DV lottery, unless there's something I'm missing.
No. So this is what I will tell people, and I usually advise people to do. Like the main first way of coming to the US is the green card lottery. You know, like that is what we usually advise people to use. Like 100%, it is the better option. You know. So the other way that is after the green card lottery, or rather the DV lottery, is through shule, like school. Yani hiyo ni sure bet pia. Shule inaponga sure bet that you need money. And by you need money, it does not mean like you literally need money. You just need a sponsor. You also need someone who will just give you a bank statement. And bank statements you can get from friends, you can get from your parents, you can get from a church, you know, you can get from different institutions, from your work when you're unafanya kazi and all that. Bank statement, it does not mean you have to have the money yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody else can have the money in, you know, sisi kama wa Kenya, tucheza kisisi. Mkenya unafaa tu kuchangamka, you know. So unaweza sema maybe Jackson anakaa mtu pesa, acha nimuongeleshe kidogo anipe bank statement yake, you know. Now I don't think if somebody approaches Jackson na kweli hiyo pesa yenye inahitajika ako nayo kwa account yake atakataa kukupa, it's just a bank statement. It does not mean you're giving the person the money. You know, so you need to find, that is the second main way of coming to the US, and it is the main, I mean, apart from the DV lottery, the school student. Mimi niko na kelele.
Mimi nakusikia vizuri, lakini nasikia tu kelele kadogo tu, lakini otherwise it's very clear, unless kwa comments wanasema it's an echo, but sioni mtu ana complain kwa comment.
Yeah, so that is the second main way of coming to the US, and student visa ni M1 visa, J1 visa, and F1 visa. For the F1 visa, F1 visa ndio yenye inaleta students like for, I mean, inaleta students to,
Dama. Kuna watu kadhaa nimeona wanasema kuna echo, so ni kama utatoka na urudi ndio tuone kama it clear. Tafadhali.
Okay.
So wacha turudi, tutasema kama kuna echo sahihi nikibaki peke yangu. So mtaniambia kama mimi mwenyewe mnasikia echo before turudi. So na ngoja nione comment yoyote kama echo imeclear. Naongea tu ndio we see whether the echo has cleared. So anyone mwenye anasikia, you can write down there. I'm looking for the comment about the echo if it has cleared. Oh, so let me, you know, TikTok, their systems, sometimes if you take so much time in the live, it brings problems. So let Damaris come back. So ndio endelee kutueleza hiyo kitu about DV lottery. Anyway, najua kuna watu wameniuliza niko wapi, nitawajibu na nitawapea mpaka reasons za mahali niko. So mkae hapa tu, alafu at the end I usually post these videos kwa my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Jackson Muindi, the same way pale kwa bio. So what you can do right now ni kunifollow, then unaweza ni follow, then utaingia pale kwa my bio, nimeattach my YouTube channel. Utaenda pale usikize the live sessions we usually do, because najua out of 177 watu wengi ni new. Just follow me right now, then later on you can go to my profile and connect to my YouTube channel, you watch the live session. Karibu tena Damaris, and sijui tulikuwa tumefika wapi?
Yeah, tulikuwa kwa student visas, na nimesema student visa ni F1, J1 na M1. So I will deal with F1 and M1. For the F1, hizi ni students when wanakuja for a period of time for like just a normal student, you know, like you're coming to study something in the US and you're supposed to be here for like 2, 3 years, 4 years. It depends on how long you're coming, and you're just supposed to be here for that period of time and then go back home. So for that period, if you're coming with an F1 student, assuming unakuja kufanya your masters usually takes 2 years, so unakuja masters, ukifika hapa, okay, this is how you get the school. Like you go online, unaenda online, unatafuta shule, unaweza if it's not online, Damaris Obira anaweza kuambia the best school, Jackson anaweza kuambia the best school to apply, Janet Rangi anaweza kuambia the best school, Arnold anaweza kuambia the best school, and then you go, you apply, and then after applying, ni kama tu shule ya kawaida, like ni kama tu shule Kenya, like you want to do a course somewhere and you have to go apply for the admission, you know, it's just the same process as Kenya. So una apply for admission, and then they will, if it is online you did, una apply kuna applying options. It's just a whole process there. Your name, what course you want to do, you know, and then after you may identify the school, of course, and then you write them an email, let them know that you're interested in the program and you're interested with maybe January intake, December intake, whichever intake you want. So after that, they get back to you. Then they do an interview, you know, like wakishafanya interview na wewe wa realize that you're the right candidate for them. Then they will tell you the whole process to do. They will ask you, of course, before you apply, ushajua ni how much you want to spend as a student, like how much school fees you want to spend, assuming it's $5,000. Then ushapiga hesabu yako, unasema hii pesa sawa, hii ndio this money naweza lipa, you know. So we get back to you, we discuss now, and then they give you an I-20. I-20 basically, hapo hivyo wakisha kukupa I-20, wako sure utalipa school fees, na wako sure aje kuna bank statement. So hapo hivyo before, hapo hivyo before umesha apply hiyo shule, ulikuwa ushakubali like unahitaji 5,000. So ushapiga hiyo hesabu, naenda unatafuta Jackson, unamwambia nipatie bank statement yako, nahitaji 5,000 to prove to them that I can pay this school fees. Ama wewe mwenyewe kama unaweza kuwa nayo, ama Damar Sobiero, ama baba yako, ama governor wa Kisii, ama kanisa, you know. So unaonyesha you're capable. So ukishaonyesha you're capable, then wanakupatia I-20. So akikupea I-20 iko na information yote. Iko na information ya how long you want to stay in the US to study it, how many terms you're supposed to go for that course, which course you're going to study, how much you need to pay, you know, and that's what the I-20 has. So after that, you apply for the service. The service ni exchange program, ni and all that. And then ukisha apply for that, then you apply for the visa interview, and then unaenda interview. Aya, ukishaenda interview umemaliza, sasa unakuja US. So ukifika US, si unakumbuka tulitumia nini ya wenyewe, tulitumia bank statement ya wenyewe. There are schools, before you travel, they will ask you for some money, you know, to just as proof that you're gonna travel. Like ni kama deposit ya nyumba, ya kuingia kwa nyumba. Like ukiingia kwa nyumba, so unaombanga deposit pesa fulani, maybe half of the money that you're supposed to pay for the rent. So that's how some school act. They will say, I need like, out of that 5,000, we need you to pay 1,000 as surety that you're going to come to our school. So you pay that money. But there are other schools that they won't ask for that money. And most schools don't ask for the money. So if you are lucky enough, ukuje shule yenye wako kuomba hiyo pesa, then utafika shule. And then what they usually do, most schools, I'm not saying all schools, most schools will allow you to work within the school so that you can be able to pay your school fees. But other schools, they want you to pay the school fees before you even start studying there. So there are different schools.
Depends with the school.
It depends with the school. So assuming that umefika ni ile shule yenye inakuallow ku work, so you will work within the school, and then that is within 1 year, and then after 1 year, you can work outside the school. So if you work this within 1 year, off campus. Within 1 year is you work only 20 hours. You're allowed to work only 20 hours within the school. And then after the 1 year, you can work outside school. That is that's for F1. So for the M1 visa, ni trade schools. Trade schools ni shule zenye trade schools. So so ni hizi shule zenye unakuja maybe kukua nini plumber, carpenter, unakuja like you're not coming to school to you're not coming to school to get credits, like kukua certified. You're coming for a training. Unaget like unakuja kukua
So hiyo inahitaji mtu mwenye tayari you are in the field, maybe let's say for the
si lazima ukue kwa field. Like unaweza muka tu useme unataka kwenda kujua kushona manguo US. So you're just coming for a training. You do not want any certification. You just want the training. So that is the M1. Like unakuja tu for training, and it's just a short period of time. Like it's usually 1 month to 4 months. It's never more than that. So that is called the M1. So if you want to come as an M1 student, then you go to Google and you look for trade schools. Watu wa aviation, wale watu wa aviation wenye wanatakanga tu kukuja kukua trained about mandege, wanataka tu kujua vile ndege inakaa ndani and all that, they can come with an M1. Wale watu wenye wanataka kukua plumber, wanakuja tu training bila tu certification, au pay certification, wanaweza kuja nayo. Wale watu wenye wanataka kushona manguo, wanajua designer clothes and all that, they can come with that. Wale watu wenye wanataka ku DJ, wanataka training ya DJ, they can come with that. Like wanakuja tu, they don't want the certificate,
they want the
wanataka tu your training, the skills, so they can come with an M1. And if you're interested in that,
after you finish the 4 months, so
you go back home. Or if you don't, I will explain there. Sasa nita explain after the J1. So that is the M1. So for the J1 visa, visa, you must be a student in Kenya. You have to be a student in Kenya. The J1 is an exchange program, like program. Like you're coming for cultural differences. You're coming, of course, to learn more skills. Again, it's just like an M1 but in a different form. You're coming for a training for a period of time, and then you're supposed to go back home after your program is done. So as a J1 student, you must be a student in your current country, and then after since you're traveling to the US because of that same program, like me nilikuja na J1 visa, so nilikuja. It was a mediation. I was doing mediation in my university. Mediation is a very short course. Mediation is, I don't know it's when you go to court and you don't want your case iendele, like iendele kukua sorted na court, like parties can agree msikizane kienyeji. So I was doing a mediation course, and I came to the US to do that, like to continue with that exchange program, like to exchange our cultural difference, how we were handling cases in Kenya and handling cases in the US. So that is how I came with the J1 visa. So unakuwa student at your current place, like you must be a student. So unakuja hapa in the US for a short period of time. I was supposed to stay here for 3 months, like I said before, and then go back. Now, so people will ask, how did I extend my stay? I was supposed to stay for only 3 months. How is it possible that I'm here now 3 years? Like, how did I do it? So now that brings us for M1, F1, and J1. All those are student visas. So you can transfer, or rather you can change your visa from student visa to marriage visa to work visa and to asylum. So you have 3 options, but you cannot change from J1 to F1. You cannot change from F1 to M1. You cannot change from M1 to F1 because all these are student visa. You're already a student. So you cannot change one to
visa to
so I could not
visa.
So I could not change from J1 to F1. I couldn't. It's not allowed. It's illegal to do that. So I have only 2 options left. I mean, 3 options left, but 2 options in quotes. So I have the marriage way of changing, like I get married to a citizen, get married to a green card holder,
or a citizen.
Or a citizen, or file for asylum, or get a job that will give me a green card. So I had these 3 options. So I went the asylum way, and I cannot explain I cannot tell people why I went the asylum way because that is private. But I went the asylum way. Yeah, now that is how I went the asylum way. But I still had other options. Even if I went the asylum way, I can still get married to someone. It allows me to do that. I can still get a work visa. And also, even if I went the marriage way, I could still apply for the asylum and I could still apply for the work visa. So the only thing that has limitations is being a student and trying to change your visa within your student situation.
Okay. So Damaris, because now we have a lot we can talk up until the cows come home. Let me ask you, is it easy to find jobs after now you land in the US and maybe you're getting somewhere near getting a permanent kind of stay? Is it easy to find jobs even if you don't have proper papers? Is it easy? Even start a job?
So if you're coming with a visit visa, and that is where I was heading, because I wanted to finish the student visa, because you have 3 options of coming to the US apart from the green card lottery. You have the student visa that I've explained, and then there's visit visa, and there's also the work visa. So if we go the visit visa, I think I'm done with the student visa. So you go for the visit visa. Visit visa is the B1, B2. So for the visit visa, it's also an immigrant. You're coming to stay for non-immigrant. So you're coming to stay for a short period of time, and you're supposed to come to do whatever brought you. You're coming to Damaris Obiero's wedding. That's it. You're not supposed to work. You're not supposed to do anything. Like you're coming to do a specific thing. You're coming to attend my marriage. That's it. You're not supposed to work. So the only way you can work is, again, it takes you back to the marriage, asylum, and the work visa. So how do you go about it this is something that mimi sijasema kwa social media. Kuna makazi za chini ya maji. So that's how you're going to survive. So that's the only way you're going to survive in the US. But I would advise people not to be out of status. By out of status, I mean, if you came with a visit visa, you're supposed to stay your stay, which would be supposed to be like roughly 6 months. If you are lucky enough to get a visa 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, then you need to be in the US for like, actually literally visit visa. If you get a 2 year or 5 year, you're supposed to be in the US for only 6 months. If you're lucky enough, if the officer pale atakustampia akupatie 6 months. There are people who don't get the 6 months, but the highest you can get is 6 months. So for these 6 months, stay in the US, but don't exceed the 6 months. Don't stay up to the 6 months. So leave before 6 months, so that so that you're not out of status. But if you're out of status, then make sure you fix your papers. How do you fix your papers? Marriage, asylum, work visa.
You explore those options.
Those options.
So Damaris,
don't find yourself out of status. Because if you find yourself out of status, you will not go back home. Because if you go back home, you will never come back to the US.
That's true. So Damaris, let me ask you before I forget. I know the US has so many states, some even bigger than entire countries like Kenya and Uganda. Are there states which are better than the others? Because I know you've had the privilege of going to different states. Are there states which are better in terms of jobs, in terms of maybe opportunities in general?
So I will say in the US, there are no states which are better than the others, but the expenses will make you understand what you want. Like if I went to Minnesota, and people living there, they're making enough. Like they're okay, because US is all developed. Like everywhere is developed. There's no place that is not developed. Like work opportunities are there.